Hey, all you campfire lovers and campfire addicts out there. Who doesn't love a good campfire? And who doesn't love a great campfire? We 100% do, so I put this video together for all the campfire lovers out there. There are a lot of different videos and methods out there to check out, but for me, this video represents the best campfire setup I've come up with in all these years of making campfires. And I'm kind of old. As you can see here, we have an iron fire bowl in our backyard. We took a chance on it a couple years ago after a few big trees got infested with terrible blight, emerald ash borer, and we had to overhaul our previous fire pit area. For what it's worth, the iron fire bowl has been totally enjoyable, highly recommended. So anyway, obviously this is not a video example of an actual out camping in the high country, scavenging from your surroundings, pseudo survival kind of campfire, but it could apply to those conditions. The way that it's stacked and ignites would definitely work. I've built one with, found branches, round log pieces, that kind of thing, at an actual campsite, and it worked pretty nicely, but the material wasn't very thick. The fuel wasn't as good as split wood that you might buy or that kind of thing, so it didn't sustain very long, but it definitely worked. But anyway, pretty much just I've built these fires in my backyard from split firewood we've bought in a small load or bundles, and kindling we collect from what falls out of our trees here in the backyard. In the examples in this video, I use a small chunk of fire starter log type flammable material to get the flame going. You can see in this clip. Pro tip, these fire starter log miniatures come about 6 inches long, and you can open up the pack and break it into small pieces and get 8 or 10 fire starts out of one of these, especially with a fire that feeds the way this one does to start itself. So you don't have to use the entire fire starter log. You can make them last way longer. Anyway, it probably goes without saying this is not a smokeless fire. If the kindling is good and dry and plenty of thin sticks are in there to get started, it gets past the smoky startup part pretty quick though. Also, I've tested starting it with only a stick lighter applied directly to the base of the kindling bundle. And since the kindling stands, straight up as I show it here, and it's pretty crowded in the bin, it'll get burning on its own in like 30 seconds to a minute. And that factor is also part of the reason this fire is so enjoyable to me, because it gives off a nice radiating heat within just a couple minutes, and it lasts for a good long time. The kindling and logs aren't just slanted like a teepee style or other sort of tilted wood fire setup. It's fully vertical and fairly packed tight in the kindling bin. That gives it a really rapid fire climb for the flame to feed up, and lighting at the bottom, drawing in oxygen down there, it accelerates and has kind of a flashover kind of fast heat. Likewise, once the center is going well, the logs that frame or sort of box the outside structure there and hold the kindling, they start to burn, provide like a ladder effect for the fire to jump up from one level to the next, or kind of jump down actually if you watch the video. And it feeds vertically the same way the kindling does. And the openings in the sides between the logs allow heat to radiate out from the kindling inside the bin through the wall before the other logs really get to burning. And then once they get burning, it's just heat. And since the outer logs stay stable in that stacked box form through most of the duration of the fire, more kindling can be added to the center repeatedly as it burns and maintain or even increase the heat output. And lastly, the stacked log method like this provides a beneficial flame height pretty fast over a lot of other methods I've seen. The height of the stacked method flame helps to assure that the heat radiates over the top of even most solid block fire pits, or like if you had, dug a pit in the ground, the flame gets high enough to quickly and easily warm things up around it, and people, most importantly, people around it. And you can see even when the fire has been burning hot and for quite a while, the logs remain in the stacked sort of box structure till the bitter end, like quite a long time. Here's a photo recap of me stacking the logs, placing the kindling and the fire starter, and so on. So I hope you can get one going for yourself soon. Remember to get the s'mores supplies out and get your family and friends around and enjoy the best campfire I know of. Thanks for checking it out. Oh, before you go, I'd really appreciate a like or subscribe, a share, comment, anything. Be great out there.